Welcome to Performance Plus. You know, the Page's popular hot rodding magazine always has pictures of beautiful-looking custom-painted cars like this funny car. Hi, I'm R.C. Bannon, and later on today, we're going to learn some inside secrets to custom painting from the best Bill Carter. Plus, we'll go behind the scenes at NASCAR's Winston Cup race and meet the people who keep Ricky Rudd on track. And Steve Evans will travel to Irvine, California to learn the latest tips on easy ways to detail your car. But first, Steve Evans has a fascinating report on Kenny Bernstein, the Budweiser King.
World champion funny car driver Kenny Bernstein dominated drag racing in 1985 with an amazing 6 NHRA national event victories. Long recognized as one of the most successful teams on the track, the Bud King operation headed by Bernstein is also considered one of the most professionally run businesses in all of motorsports.
Well, most people obviously see me at the racetrack all the time, and they see me in my driving suit, and they don't very often get to see the business side of what goes on in our sport. And it is a day-to-day business. In fact, business, it is what is known as big business. If we didn't have the large companies involved in our sport, or in motorsports in general, there wouldn't be any motorsports, and especially in drag racing, it's just as true. Without the major companies involved, you people that are sitting at home now watching this TV and come to the races wouldn't have anything to see out here. There wouldn't be any cars. There wouldn't be any sponsorships, no cars, no personalities, no names, nothing happening, because we have to have those companies come to the party to make it happen for us as team owners and drivers. Today, I spend probably 75% of my time in the business area. I enjoy the part of doing business. It's almost as good as the driving, because it is a challenge to be able to put together programs, ideas, merchandising, marketing, public relations for the sponsor so they can get their money's worth. They're advertising. That's what they're doing. That's what this is all about. Obviously, the results that the fans see at the racetrack are the cars, the Budweiser King Ford Tempo. For instance, they get to see that car out there performing, the Pro Stocks of Bob Glidden and Frank Iaconio, the true Thunderbirds of the sport. They get to see that, and again, if it wasn't for the sponsor, that wouldn't be possible. It all transfers back to the racetrack itself. The beautiful signage, the facilities, the organization, National Hot Rod Association, all comes back and happens because of the involvement of business. Well, obviously, it takes a lot of people to be successful in anything, and the key is the right people, the right personnel in the right position. In Orange, California, for instance, at my Budweiser King shop, I have Susan Arnold, who's in charge of public relations for the Budweiser King. Also in that shop is Ray Alley, who runs the day-to-day business on the King Racing Components Company, which we set up to sell the computers that Dale and Ray produced and market, etc. And then the one that's the most important, the one that takes care of all of it, Dale Armstrong, the crew chief of the Budweiser King, that really enables me to have the time to do the business side that needs to be done. Our second office is located in Indianapolis, Indiana. Of course, a home of all kinds of speed, needless to say. And that's King Sports Incorporated, which is a sports marketing, public relations, promotion type company headed by John Dangler, the president of that company.
Though he leaves the ringing telephones and his office behind on race day, Kenny Bernstein still pursues the business side of racing at the track.
We're running 2 runs today, one at noontime and one at 3 this afternoon as far as the race car goes. But I was here at 8 o'clock this morning with a meeting with Ron Winter from Budweiser, Mr. Jim Bowen from Motorcraft. We got into a meeting at 8 o'clock. Joan Feely came into the meeting also. And there's continuous things like that throughout the day. Yesterday, for instance, I did 8 or 9 interviews in between the mixture of the business and trying to get the car prepared to race. So it's not just, unfortunately, get to come and race the car anymore. There's a lot of business that goes on. This afternoon, we've got the same situation again. A couple of more meetings are already set up this afternoon with sponsors and people that we do business with on a day-to-day basis.
For funny car champion Kenny Bernstein, winning means more than just racing. It means taking advantage of all the opportunities available at the track.
All the companies that have developed have come from, actually, the drag racing funny car side. One of these, of course, is King Racing Components, and that's the computer side of the company. Dale decided 2.5 years ago, that we should get into the computer side and make that work in a race car and live in that environment. Well, when it was finally developed and was decided that we were going to market and sell it, which I wasn't so sure I wanted to do and give it to my competition, but Dale convinced me if we didn't do it, someone else would, that we should take advantage of it. then a company had to be formed. The next company that I started was King Sports. And this really evolved from being at the racetrack with the sponsors and the companies that were involved in our sport of drag racing. And we found out that it didn't matter whether it was drag racing, it could be any kind of racing, that the companies needed the help, the personnel, the expertise in racing to help promote their products and to do more to get their customers aware of what was going on and why they were in racing. And I just felt that King Sports was a really important thing that could benefit people like Goodyear and Budweiser and Ford and Motorcraft to really expand those people into areas that they didn't have the personnel to take care of or the expertise. For me, all this is really a challenge, not only from the driving of the race car to be a Winston World Champion, but also for me to work with the companies and try to make them champions along with me, to cross that line of business and racing together, to make it happen so that they're happy, not the fact that they just put Budweiser on the side of my Ford Tempo, but the fact that they're proud to be there and they've carried it a step further with an ad in Sports Illustrated and Popular Hot Rodding, an on TV commercial that Budweiser just did for the Budweiser King. That's the final, ultimate outcome that makes it all worthwhile and a winner.
Don't go away. When we come back, you're going to meet Bill Carter, king of custom paintings.
See the parade of prizes during the GMC Truck Great Escape Sweepstakes. But you have to enter to win.
When the big Q flows, America goes.
You there, Mr. Bailey, that's selling the car?
You buying?
Depends. How's it run?
Great. Always on Quaker State.
That's good.
Quaker State means performance. You can depend on quality.
I've heard that.
One-of-a-kind formula. Stable viscosity. Keeps flowing. Protecting.
You sold me.
The car?
And the oil.
Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
In my line of work, your insurance isn't on a piece of paper. It's up here, and it's in your equipment. With all the technology that's built into today's cars, I just don't trust mine to anything but AC filters. An AC oil filter can help protect your gasoline engine for up to 15,000 miles. An AC air filter, up to 30,000 miles. Never wait for trouble. Protect your car with AC filters.
Now get rebates on AC filters. Call 1-800-AC-DELCO for a participating dealer.
We're the mail-order store of country music. We've got Willie and Waylon, Loretta, the giants of country. Country artists who've paid their dues, who've made country what country is. The original superstars of country on record, cassette, on hard-to-find 8-track. Call us. For George Jones, Hank Williams, Sr. and Jr., call now. 1-800-423-4900. Delivery from our mail-order country store to your door. With every order, there's a free country bonus album just for you. You want country? We've got it.
This is Ralph Emery inviting you to watch a Deja Vu edition of Nashville Now Monday night. That means I think we've been here before. What you're going to see is a rebroadcast of our show featuring Boots Randolph, the Mills Brothers, and Jan Howard. That's Monday night on Nashville Now.
Welcome back, everybody. I'd like for you to meet the world-famous custom automotive painter, Bill Carter. Bill, you've done some work on some very famous race cars.
Yes, we have, R.C. We've done drag race cars for stars like Shirley Muldowney, Tim Gross in the funny car field. We've also done the Pennzoil Chaparral cars when Jim Hull was racing with them. So we've been lucky. We've kind of run the gamut.
You know, watching them on TV as they fly by, they're really works of art, but at the same time, you have to work in the product's name on the side.
Yes, we do. It's a blend of custom painting techniques and art and also commercialism. It's really a commercial art thing. Steve Stanford, that's here with us, does a lot of logo design and layout for these cars. And a lot of these cars are preconceived on the drawing board before we even put one coat of paint on them.
Well, where did you get your start?
Well, that 56 Buick out there is a good starting place. We started pinstriping in our garage when we were in high school.
That looks very difficult. What's the hardest part about pinstriping?
Consistency of the paint is real important with pinstriping and the amount of paint that's on the brush and the flow that you get.
And the boat is beautiful. I mean, that's got to be really difficult to do.
The custom painting on it, you have a lot of overlays. You have pearl bases and candy overlays. Color arrangement is a key factor on a custom paint job.
Well, looking around, it looks like you do just about everything.
We try to. We've been lucky. We run the gamut here, between fine restorations on Ferraris and Corvettes to commercial stuff in the race car field. We have a wheel stand truck here we're working on right now that's in the primer stage. Funny cars, you name it. We kind of run the whole spectrum.
You know, after seeing your work on television for years, it's a pleasure to finally get to meet the world-famous Bill Carter.
Thank you very much, R.C. Pleasure.
Thank you. You bet. You know, even if you don't have a custom paint job on your car like these, you still want it to look great, and recently Steve Evans had the opportunity to learn some detailing tips.
RC, what may look like a mini car show is actually the parking lot of Eagle One Car Care Products in Irvine, California. And amazingly enough, all of these cars belong to people involved in the company, including the president and founder, Barney Lee. And Barney, when I came here, quite frankly, I thought I'd run into a bunch of chemists.
At Eagle One, Steve, you're a lot more likely to run into an enthusiast than a chemist. In fact, we have a saying here that to make car care products, it's important that you care about cars.
And the care shows. It must have taken hours to get all these cars ready.
If you can believe it, Steve, these cars look this good all the time.
Chrome wire wheels. There's nothing easy about maintaining them.
That was true until we invented the wire wheel cleaning kit, the easiest product in the world to use. You spray on step one, you rinse it with a hose. That removes the road oil and the film. You spray on step two, rinse it with a hose that has neutralizers, corrosion inhibitors, and rinse agents. There's no hand scrubbing, no polishing necessary.
Disc brake dust.
Well, take an alloy wheel that has a clear coat. We would recommend that you use our special finish factory mag cleaner. It's for painted, polished, or clear-coated alloys. You spray it on, you let it set, you hit it with a hose, and the brake dust is gone.
But all the products will handle the brake dust.
Absolutely.
Okay, how do you know what product to use? There's so many wheels out there, so many different materials.
What we've done is on each of our products, we have a uniform wheel care chart. Under each alpha symbol describes the type of wheel and which product to use. In fact, major wheel manufacturers use the same system with a sticker on their wheel recommending specific Eagle One products and the alpha code so you know which product to use to clean their wheel.
Well, you've convinced me on the wheel care. What about the rest of the car?
Actually, at Eagle One, we feel we've made maintaining the entire car as easy as we have made maintaining the wheels. Steve, I should take you out back and show you one of my favorite Mustangs and how we detail one.
Oh, Barney, that is a good-looking car, the Saline Mustang. I saw a picture, I think, of this very car in Fabulous Mustangs, which is a sister book to Popular Hot Rodding.
Yeah, this is really a great car, Steve. This car belongs to Cheryl Wallace, who's our regional sales manager.
Well, your people are all car crazy, aren't you?
Absolutely, we are.
We've done the wheels. What's next in the detail process?
Well, the first thing I have to remind you is that you really don't detail a car out in the bright sunlight, okay? Mm-hmm. But for the purpose of this demonstration, this will do fine. After doing the wheels, the next thing to do is the tires. This product's very easy to use. You spray it on, you scrub it down, you hose it off. Do you know when you look at a tire and you notice all that brown stuff in the black wall?
Sure.
That's from using Protectant all the time and never cleaning your tire. This will take out all that brown road grime and is compatible for use on alloy wheels. The next step is to actually clean the car with our car wash and wax conditioner. This product has excellent detergent strength. It will bead the water, and it prevents hard water spots from getting a bite into your paint.
And the next step would be a liquid or a paste wax.
That's right, Steve. We make a paste and a liquid wax, but personally, I prefer our Carnauba spray wax, which we developed. It gives you great depth of gloss, brilliance of shine. It's really a lot easier to use, and for somebody that's cleaning their car all the time like an enthusiast, it's really the way to go. The next thing you need, Steve, is a heavy-duty automotive glass cleaner and polish. Unlike a light-duty household cleaner, this will remove the bugs and the road oil very quickly and leave the glass shiny because of the polishing agent.
Earlier we cleaned the tires, but isn't there something else we ought to do?
Yes, the last thing we have to do is dress the tire with Eagle One Concours tire dressing and protectant. It's non-oily, has a natural semi-gloss luster, and has excellent durability. You use it on the tires, the bumper molding, the vinyl tops.
What about inside, if you've got some spots on the seat or the carpet too?
Well, inside of the car, we have a product called Spot Remover, which will remove any difficult to remove stains that are embedded in the fabric. It'll also work on vinyl and leather. After you use that, we have vinyl, velour, and fabric guard, which will provide you a protective coating, which will prevent stains from penetrating the fabric. Now, Steve, that's how a real enthusiast details a car.
Bernie, I got to ask you, are those the original leather seats in the 74 Pantera?
Yes, Steve, those are the original seats. And the reason they look so good is that unlike most people that use a protectant that merely dresses the leather, we have a product called Cream Leather Care that really moisturizes the leather. That retains the moisture and prevents it from cracking and drying.
Well, it must work because there's not a crack in them. You know, I like to keep my cars as nice as what we see here, but I'll tell you, I travel so much that sometimes it's just a problem. They're not really all that good all the time.
Steve, let me tell you about a little secret. This is 5-Minute Detailer. I've made this for myself and my friends for years, and we finally brought it out on the market. It's the perfect product for between major washes and details. You spray it lightly on the rag, and you can dust down the paint, the chrome, and the glass, and the rubber. And it's great for keeping the car looking great at all times between washes.
You know, good tip. And I think the reason guys like us go to all this trouble is we just take pride in our cars.
Not only that, Steve, I'm convinced the cars run better when they're clean.
You know, and another reason is our car will actually go faster and get better mileage if it's shiny instead of dirty.
And another reason, Steve, is a clean car has much better resale value.
But the real reason we do this...
Hi, guys. Nice car.
Don't go away. When we come back, we're going to meet the NASCAR Winston Cup team of Bud Moore with driver Ricky Rudd. You know, I think all race fans want to know what really goes on behind the scenes at a NASCAR Winston Cup race. So we decided to take a close-up look at the Motorcraft team of Bud Moore and Ricky Rudd.
Sunday, race day, and the Atlanta International Raceway is jammed to capacity for the running of the Motorcraft 500. All the drivers and teams hope they have the right combination for the next 4 hours of grueling NASCAR Winston Cup competition. To make it to race day, every team on the track had to earn the right to compete by qualifying during the weekend. The weather was not quite as cooperative a few days earlier when the teams were just starting their weekend's work. Among the competitors at the track is Bud Moore's Motorcraft team with driver Ricky Rudd.
I guess my feelings are real good going into this race. The car owner, Bud Moore, he's won on this racetrack a couple of times and always knows how to prepare a car to get here. So, you know, to me, it is an honor to drive for him. He's a very brilliant man and still one of the leading people in NASCAR stock car racing today, and is well thought of.
Well, I've been an owner and crew chief ever since I started racing about 37 years ago, and it's worked out real well for us. There's a lot of preparation. It's probably, you'd figure, 14 to 16 hours a day goes into our racing operation to run 30 races during the year.
The outside body shell is a stock configuration. It has to be. NASCAR has several different ways of measuring the body and templates each time we come to a racetrack, so there really is no altering done to the outside silhouette of the car. It uses a stock fender, stock hoods, and stock deck lid, and they have the templates, the patterns to make sure that they are stock. The aerodynamics that are built into the T-Bird body style happen to be very good, and they work good as a race car. And we've just taken that body style and used it to our advantage in racing. It's been very successful.
Car 44.
A drawing determines the order of qualifying for the drivers.
Double number is 56. Car 15, dead last. Absolutely last.
Before practice begins, veterans like Ricky Rudd conduct a meeting for rookie drivers.
Many rookies in trouble the last couple of years as before. For that, let me turn it over to Neil and Ricky.
This racetrack, I guess I think it's fairly easy to drive. It's long, sweeping corner. The bumps can upset the car, so you got to be careful not to do anything real quick when you get out of the accelerator here. If you get out of the accelerator real quick, it tends to really upset the car here. Only other things I can think about is probably during practice, make sure you wave your hand real good when you finish running your lap. Most of the time, most of the crews will clock you on the start-finish line. What I'd like to see, at least in practice, everybody's going to be out there hustling because of the rain situation.
You need to get started at a very young age, grow up with it like a tennis player or a golfer will do. They grow up with the sport. I don't think auto racing is any different. It's hard for a guy to come into the sport after being 25, 30 years old and try to get a start. you need to grow up with the sport. I guess the best way to compare it is to be like playing a football game for 4 hours without a timeout. The only timeout that we get is probably our pit stop when the caution flag comes out and we're in the pits for a scheduled stop or unscheduled, whatever. But under the caution flag, you get a chance maybe a 2 or 3 second rest, and that's about it.
Well, we watch what's going on. We got radio contact with Ricky, and he's relating back to me what's going on with the car, and I'm telling him, too, what I can see and what the other competitors are doing. We're watching everybody in the pits, what they're doing. And we're trying to beat the other competitors the same way they're trying to beat us. So we come here prepared and hoping we have prepared the car better than some of the other teams have prepared those, and that's how we beat the other competitors. And every part of the car is very important, and you know, you got to have good parts on the car, and such as the oil we're running Motorcraft oil, Motorcraft oil filters, Motorcraft batteries, and these are all good products. Usually we carry 3 spare engines, all the gear ratios, and all the chocolate oil and different spring combinations and everything on the truck, just in case we had to have them. If he spins out and hits a wall or something during practice, we got to have enough stuff to fix the car so we can make the race on Sunday.
In the truck we carry spare motors, spare parts, suspension pieces, even an occasional snack to heat in the microwave, wheels, tires, driver uniforms, all the pit paraphernalia, everything we use, including the capability of carrying 2 race cars, is in this trailer. It's also in some ways maybe sort of a home for us. It's the lifeblood of the whole organization we have when we're at the track.
This kind of weather we're having right now, we'd like to get out and practice and qualify and get the car set up to run the race Sunday, but it's hindering a little bit now, so really nobody here knows just exactly what their car is going to do.
The race season starts in February. It's wintertime. It's cool. You don't have too much of a problem with fatigue at that time, but you do notice it during the summertime. The cars get over 140 degrees inside, so usually I'll build my endurance up as the season goes along. So by summertime, I'm pretty fit.
Well, there's not really any secrets anymore like there used to be. We used to have some secrets. Everybody had their own secrets and done this and done that. But since the last 5 or 6 years, most of the secrets have been out the back door.
A lot of times you can feel things and you can sense them and you can smell things that's going wrong with the car before they actually show up on the gauges of the instrument panel. Hopefully you'll get a caution flag soon and you'll be able to dive in the pits and maybe make an adjustment if it's something not too major. The name of the game is to come out and try to beat the competition.
The biggest enjoy I get is like on Sunday when they drop the green flag, see my car out running out front.
Out of time for this week's Performance Plus. I'd sure like to thank Bill Carter for showing us some of his great-looking work. Be sure to be with us next week on Performance Plus when we meet 2 legendary names in the world of off-roading, Manny Esquera and Bill Stropp. Also, we'll take a close-up look at what goes into building performance shock absorbers. Plus, we'll fly down the quarter-mile drag strip with the power of a jet car. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. For Steve Evans, myself, and all the folks at Popular Hot Rodding Magazine, thanks for watching.
See an armchair judge as eager performers compete for fantastic prizes on You Can Be a Star, weekdays on the Nashville Network.